Here's the brutal reality. Whilst product leaders debate whether AI will replace them, the smart ones are already using it to reclaim 5 to 10 hours per week per product manager from soul-crushing manual work. I'm Ross Webb, and after leading product teams at Amazon and Just Eat and way many more, and I've interviewed hundreds of product leaders for this channel, I've discovered something quite profound. The product managers that are winning with AI aren't using it to do their job. They're using it to eliminate the parts of their job that shouldn't exist. And today, 4 product operations pioneers are going to be revealing exactly how they've weaponized AI to transform from overwhelmed operators into strategic powerhouses. And this episode is brought to you by FocusFlow AI, the product management AI toolset my team and I have built based on insights from dozens of product leaders and product operations experts, just like today's guests. We've cracked the code and what actually saves time versus what just adds more noise to your workflow. Our users are consistently saving 5 to 10 hours per week on the manual grunt work that's been stealing their strategic thinking time. Want proof? Start with our AI competitor intelligence workflow. It's a fully agentic AI system that automatically monitors your competitive landscape, analyzes positioning changes, and delivers strategic insights directly to your inbox. No more endless spreadsheets, updating, or manual research rabbit holes. This is what happens when you stop treating AI like a fancy search engine and start using it like the strategic partner, weapon, co-pilot that it actually is. And you're about to discover why most product teams are using AI completely wrong and how these 4 leaders have helped to crack the code. Chris Comston is going to be revealing the counterintuitive truth. Effective AI isn't about speed, it's about decision quality. Then Anna Prevost will be showing how to automate the boring stuff while keeping the human magic that actually matters. Then Orla Mears will be sharing her alchemy framework that turns overwhelming complexity into crystal clear action. And then lastly, and definitely not least, Alia Mohammed will be explaining why the best AI implementations start with embracing uncertainty, not avoiding it. So Chris, over to you. Everyone's obsessing over AI speed and efficiency, but you're saying we've got it backwards. Why is decision quality the real game changer here?
My use of AI, I have to say, definitely is like more limited than you just introduced me to there. You definitely said a bunch of words I've not come across before, probably need to spend a bit of time looking into. I'm always going to come at this from a slightly higher level than the more tactical level of, can we use AI to get things done for us? And try and take it to a level where if we want to be building high performing teams, we want them to understand customer value, have business impact by understanding the business. We need them to do 2 things, right? One of them is to build the right thing, understanding the business and the customers that we're serving, how we make money, how we reduce costs, and also be thinking about how we build the thing right. Now, I think AI has a role to play in both of those, and how to build a thing which is a lot around continuous improvement and agile practices, which as much as they're not flavor of the day, as much as they used to be 10 years ago, they're still important in the way that we work. Continuous improvement, looking at the things that we do and improving our practices on an ongoing basis. You need both of those things, be a high performing team. I think AI can play a part in both. On the first hand, if we want our team to be more effective, I spend a lot of time thinking about the words that I use and the meaning behind those words. Because I think it's really easy to just throw out there, we want an effective team, we need to be more of this, without someone sitting down and going, okay, what do we mean by effective? For me, effective means we're able to achieve more outcomes from the things that we launch on a consistent, ongoing basis. We learn from all those outcomes and finally we're able to apply those learnings to gain even greater outcomes in the future. I think in all 3 cases, you can apply AI in whatever format you wish, whether it's in the early stages of trying to understand the market and the customers, whether it's in experimentation, whether it's in understanding how to apply, number one, how to take data and drive insight to apply learnings for future work. The second part of that is understanding what it means to be more efficient. And how do we then apply AI to become more efficient now and in the future? So firstly, what do we mean by efficient? Efficiency means to me, we have everything we need to make good decisions quickly. And AI can certainly help with that. If we want to interrogate a database and drive insight, still in these days, it's not going to tell us absolutely everything correctly, but does it help us to make decisions quickly? Yes, it does. Being efficient means that we can embrace and adapt quickly to ever-changing needs. And I think AI can certainly help with that. It can warn us of experiments that might be going down the wrong path, different things we might do to test in different ways. And this is the final one, I think, where AI can definitely have some type of impact. I think it's one we really need to think about. Being efficient means consistently achieving goals. We can still achieve all the goals we want, and we're making high-quality decisions with less effort because we have everything we need at our fingertips. One of the things I'd add here is, and I forget which book it was probably in the Product Operators book, not to parry the details, or it was from some other book, and I've retained that knowledge and used it for my own impact, is I think Product Operators is in the place of increasing the quality of decision-making. Now, how we do that, streamlining data, making sure tools are accessible, putting in procedures, processes, enhancing practices that help us to do that, increase that quality of decision-making, evidence-based decision-making. Therefore, I think AI as a tool, as a service that we can use to help on that path, is always a valuable thing.
Well, that's exactly why most AI implementations fail. They optimize for speed instead of intelligence. Now, Anna, you've figured out something brilliant, at least in my opinion, about balancing automation with human insight.
So I think it's a really exciting time to be in product operations with everything that's happening with AI, because the whole purpose of product operations is to amplify the effectiveness of product. When it comes to AI, we're talking about speed, repetitive actions, and even some more reactionary pieces that might have taken more of a human touch, but now we can set a framework and get there faster. What I mean by that is, think about your epic templates. We've traditionally used this in product to communicate to the teams what we feel is the general goal for what we're building, various pieces that we need to take into consideration for the uses that we're building for. This might have been something that took quite a bit of time for product owners to organize their thoughts and to get into a space that both engineers can use. And then if you're doing what I'm saying we should be doing for launch loops and thinking about communicating out to the rest of your go-to-market teams, these templates are still super useful for communicating out to stakeholders and for communicating to your product marketing teams, creating feature briefs and so on that will inform all of these various waves of content that need to be created to support the adoption of these features. All of this stuff can start to be automated with AI. And I think that humans are still very much involved, and they should be, because there's learning activity. If you ever take notes, handwrite in year 2025, if you're still taking notes, writing things down, it's because you know that is a memory activity. That is a brain connectivity activity. We still need to do that when it comes to product. We can't get so far away with all of these machines doing the work that we forget what we're doing. And that's when we start talking about using AI to analyze customer insights. One of the things we're experimenting with, I still very much advocate that product people need to be connected with customers, because if you get too far away from them, you get into that corporate mindset where you forget who these people are. You stop empathizing with their problems. You might start to assume that more than they do. Using AI, you can take an enormous amount of information from your call transcripts that's recorded, from your session recordings potentially, and even cohorts that you've set up for your event data that's coming from your application, and start to understand who these people are, what they're saying, what the trends are.
Anna, you're automating the mechanical stuff, but keeping humans in the loop for what matters. How do you know where to draw that line?
But you still need to go back out and talk to these people during your research. So take the trends, use them to help guide the direction that you're going, pull a couple people out of there and talk to them. Ultimately, you're still going to get that human connection that you need to really drive and motivation to build the right stuff, because you're solving something for someone that you know and that you care about.
Anna just nailed it. She's brilliant. AI should amplify your empathy, not replace it. Now, Ola, you've turned this philosophy into a practical transformation system. Ola, you've called AI your alchemy, turning lead into gold, if you don't mind. That's quite a bold claim. Show us exactly how this works, at least in your daily reality.
So I will say, admittedly, I'm very old school. If you were to give me a pen and a piece of paper and ask me to calculate 4,000 formulas, I will do it because that's my learning method. But I have to go with the times and understand that things are elevating, especially with AI, automation. I've had to bring myself into that space. But what I'm finding is that it's taking all the jumbled stuff in my brain and bringing it into an efficient process. I'm a big fan of automation. I think there's a term I use in product operations, it's alchemy. And the native definition of that is you're turning lead into gold. So I think automation is actually, it's been a huge cannonball of excitement for me and making my life easier. I can prove to product managers that automation and efficiency within data can help them as well. It's transformed my life as a product operations person. I'm a very wordy individual. When you get to know me personally, I talk a lot and my writing is equally as terrifying because I think it comes from the passion of the message I'm trying to convey. But I know that when I'm building process or content, I have a very short window to capture people's attention. So AI for me, when I use it in our tools within any of the companies I've worked in, it's been a godsend for me. It takes my thoughts and makes it more concise. In particular, I use Jira and Confluence. There are other amazing tools out there for anybody that's listening, but the AI functionality that has come in has helped to speed up my work. When I'm in a very busy period of work where we're scaling our business at a fast pace, I might have 10 or 12 tasks that I need to get done. There's no pressure on me to get them done. I'm putting the pressure on myself to support the team. The AI functionality has helped me to build out my processes and content in a fraction of the time. So I can give it a 3-page Word document and say, read this, make sense of it, and capture the message that I'm trying to convey. And bingo, it's done within seconds. I think the original perception of AI was probably, oh, this is a bit of a cheat or a time-saving tool, cutting corners. As they say, if you're not using AI, somebody will replace you.
If you're not using AI, somebody using AI will replace you. I'm sure we've heard that a lot of times. And Ola has just dropped the uncomfortable truth that most won't say out loud. Now, Alia, you've got the mindset piece that I think ties us all together. Alia, you say being comfortable with ambiguity is paramount for AI success. Most people want certainty. Why is uncertainty actually your competitive advantage?
Yeah, so I think AI is such a powerful tool. There's a lot of panic around it, but I don't think that's the right approach because whether we like it or not, it's evolving and it's going to be part of the future. Instead of being afraid of it and not embracing it, I think it's something that needs to be embraced. And I don't think it will ever replace product operations as a whole, but it can amplify the way that we listen, analyze, and act with everything that we do. I do think that human layer will always still matter. Like we can use it to reduce time, like you've mentioned earlier about how you were able to do a lot more in a shorter space of time. That is where it adds its value, but the context, the judgment, and the empathy, which is paramount to product operations, will always remain irreplaceable. And that's just a human aspect of what we do. But yeah, I tend to use AI in my everyday work. It definitely helps. Takes a lot of the time off my hands. For example, using the voice of the customer, I'll give you a real life example. We had to manually structure a taxonomy for customer support tickets so that we could influence our voice of the customer themes. With AI, we integrated an AI tool within customer support. That was completely automated. That took out at least 2 to 3 hours of a working week, which I could focus on more important stuff, like analyzing the data, understanding where those drop points were. So it's definitely a useful tool. You can also use it to be a storyteller partner. Being able to really put all those themes together can really revolutionize that, I think. Your podcast reaches loads of people in product operations. Something I wish I was told when starting my career in product operations was to be comfortable in ambiguity. I was lucky enough in my career to have amazing mentors that were able to guide me, but we tend to find ourselves uncomfortable in the unknown. At the heart of product operations is being comfortable in ambiguity. It's about your mindset. Be curious, be brave, and be okay with not knowing everything. The goal is not to be perfect, but to keep learning and connecting the dots, and always show up with clarity and intention.
So there it is, the secret sauce. While everyone else is paralyzed by needing perfect AI strategies, the winners are already experimenting, learning, and iterating their way to massive time savings. This isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to start. And that's exactly why we built Flow Focus AI the way we did. No complicated setups, no analysis paralysis, just proven AI workflows that start saving you time from day one. That competitor intelligence workflow I mentioned, it's live and working for product managers right now, automatically delivering the insights they used to spend hours researching manually. But here's what these 4 leaders taught us. AI in product operations isn't a future possibility. It's a present competitive advantage, but only if you stop treating it like a shiny toy and start using it like the strategic weapon it actually is. The choice is simple. You can spend the next year debating AI implementations whilst manually updating spreadsheets and writing repetitive templates. Or you can follow these leaders and start reclaiming 5 to 10 hours per week per product manager immediately. Chris showed us decision, quality, trumps speed. Anna proved human connection and automation aren't opposites. Now, Ola demonstrated practical alchemy in action. And the brilliant Alia reminded us that winners embrace uncertainty. Now, it's your move. Will you join the product leaders already winning with AI, or will you become the cautionary tale that tell about people who waited too long? Start with Focus Flow AI's competitor intelligence workflow, because whilst you're thinking about it, your competitors are already doing it. So from me, Ross Webb, until next time, bye for now.